why I am here in a position where I'm able to share with you my journey of health, transformation, Ayurveda and nature cure. The reason why I would say 90% of all human beings are unhappy in this world. Now, what you want to understand, what is Kundalini Yoga? Before Kundalini Yoga, my acting roles, लक्ष्मण, रवि चोपड़ा अंदर ऐसे चल के आ रहे हैं, यहाँ पे 25 लोग बैठे हैं टेबल पे, तो चलते चलते बोलते हैं अरे लक्ष्मण के लिए विजय आनंद का नाम लिखो, तो एवरीबडी इज इन शॉक. आफ्टर कुंडलिनी योगा आई गॉट कॉल्ड फॉर द रोल ऑफ जनक. वो कर्मा सिर्फ बर्न हो सकते हैं, यू कैन ओनली बर्न अवे द कर्मा. मैंने अपनी डेथ खुद प्रेडिक्ट कर दी है. मेरे को या तो लिकर कंपनी वाले गोली से मारेंगे या फार्मास्यूटिकल जो दवाई बनाते हैं वो मारेंगे.
I deeply admire and I am proud to call a friend Bijay Anand.
No.
Please give him a round of applause.
No.
Bijay is a globally respected Kundalini Yoga teacher, Indian film actor, art consultant, who has inspired thousands across the world with his message of mindful living, wellness, and spiritual transformation. I would like to say, those who bring light in darkness, those who bring light in darkness become the lamp. Those who bring calm to restless hearts become the guide. Your wisdom, your love touches every soul, and souls like yours are a blessing to the world.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you once again, Bijay. Let us now begin this morning session and unlocking inner peace, a path to mindful and spiritual transformation. Thank you, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ratna. Thank you very much, Ajayji, for those kind words. It is my pleasure to be here. And let me just take 5 minutes to explain to you why I am here in a position where I'm able to share with you my journey of health, transformation, Ayurveda and nature cure. So the transformation process, if I have to explain to you, I was born extremely poor. I was born so poor that we did not have 1 rupee 25 paisa to buy bread in the house many times. And as children, we used to go hungry. And when I started working at the age of 14, the first thing I could do, given my situation, was sell soap in local trains of Mumbai. And that's where I started from. So I would say I worked very hard up to a certain age. And I used to do a course in learning French because I was so sure that I was going to become very rich that I knew I needed many languages. So as soon as I started earning little money, I joined a French class. I said, I'm going to become super rich. I'm going to become an international businessman. So that's called manifestation, by the way. So in that class, there was a boy called Jason. Now I used to work the whole day, go for the French class, then go to the factory, do this, do that, whatever jobs I was doing, whatever business I started, a garment business. Jason used to only party. And I used to feel bad for him because at that age of 17 and 18, I used to have 10, 20,000 in my pocket. And I was earning a lot of money. And I would try to, because he was a friend, I would try to lecture him, talk to him, work, do something with your life. He said, I don't care. He's a fun guy. One day I got a call from a friend called Gayatri. And she said that, please come to so-and-so hospital. I said, what happened? He said, Jason has got 24 hours to live. Now, that's the last day I worked hard because I realized that if it was me in that position, I would have only worked for a future that I have not seen, whereas Jason had lived life. And that is the essence of the way I live my life today. So all my friends who know me, they know that I can go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night or 9:30 at night. But next day morning, 7 o'clock, where I'm going to be, nobody knows. Because it happened 3-4 months ago. I went to sleep at 10 o'clock. And then I just put on the light, the small light. And my wife said, where are you going? I said, 1 minute. I went to the laptop, I did something, I came back. She said, what have you done? I said, I'm going to Uzbekistan tomorrow. So that's how I live my life. I've been to 83 countries. Now, if you say 83 countries is a lot, but Paris is 9 times, Italy is 6 times, London is 25 times. Just imagine how much I've traveled. Because what I base my whole life upon is living life as a joy and a celebration, not working towards making more money. Because it's not how much money I spend when I'm traveling, it's what I don't earn because I'm not in Mumbai. Okay, but for me, the priority is learning from that lesson from Jason, right? That life has to be lived and enjoyed and celebrated on a daily basis. And the fundamental principle of your life should be to share that joy, which is why I teach yoga, right? So the whole fundamental of your life, once it shifts from me, I, and then it shifts outward, and the energy becomes flowing outward, and then you want to give. It's called the opening of the Vishuddhi chakra. When you're so basically, the reason why I would say 90% of all human beings are unhappy in this world is because everybody is living in the first three chakras. Everybody is into wanting to become more rich, more famous, about like what I can get from you, about me, about pleasure, about all of that thing, right? And once you get into something like Kundalini Yoga, which I discovered and changed my life, you so I say that there are four stages of enlightenment. Once you start working towards the path, you first open, and the first stage of enlightenment, your anahata chakra, your heart chakra. Now, when the heart chakra opens up, your life becomes a life of love. You become love itself because you don't discriminate. Even if somebody stabbed you in the back, you still love that person. My wife asked me this, there's this, I deal in art. So there's this guy who stabbed me in the back not once, not twice, many times. I'm still nice to him. My wife says, at least don't be nice to this guy. But I said, it's okay, it's not his fault, it's his journey, let him do it. Because when your anahata chakra is open, it's not only about human beings, it's about animals, it's about environment, about Mother Earth. You just feel the love flowing all the time in all directions. And then you do some more Kundalini Yoga, you do some more meditation, and then you graduate, you go to the next level. You open your Vishuddhi chakra. From the Anahata chakra, you graduated, you open a Vishuddhi chakra. Now, when the Vishuddhi chakra opens, now your life becomes a life of service, service of humanity, service to Mother Nature, to Mother Earth. What can I do for you? What can I do for my environment? What can I do for Mother Earth? Your whole life becomes that, and you're blessed. You're blessed to have that feeling, to have that bhav, because when you are living with that bhav and you're living with that energy which is outward flowing and trying to be of service, trying to help as many people as you can, the whole universe conspires to make your life a heaven. Every day you see miracles, and I'm not exaggerating. Some people say, no, for the sake of saying it, I'm telling you, every day, every single day of my life, I experience a miracle happening. So, when you do some more work, now you have to graduate, you have to come to the second last stage of enlightenment. When you open your Ajna chakra, and now when this is open, you see light everywhere. You see the decoding of the matrix. You understand the meaning of Maya and how you're trapped. What is Maya basically? Maya means that you are all living in a cage. We are all living in a cage. And we are imagining this to be the real world, okay? Now, what we do our whole life is decorate the cage. Now we buy a nice Bentley. Now we put the Bentley in this cage. Now we buy a nice watch, a nice Rolex, a nice patek. You put that, oh, look at my Rolex, I'm very happy. Then now you buy a nice house. Your cage is here, you're living in the cage. So Socrates, the philosopher, the Greek philosopher, has a nice story called the Plato's Cave. And in that philosophy, in that story, what he's saying is that the entire human race is in a cave, facing a wall in the cave. And there's a light behind. So there are shadows which are playing on the cage. So every time they move, they can see their shadow move. Right? Now, what they are all thinking, all of humanity, is that that's life. One day, some very wise man comes into the cave and he says, you people are making a mistake. Please come outside the cave. There's light, there's sunshine, there are birds, there are beautiful animals. Please come outside the cave, the cave, and you see it's such a beautiful life. And you see, really? No, it's okay. We are fine over here. We don't want to come out. Because even when you're told that you're living in Maya, you're living in Matrix, you're just decorating a cage, nobody wants to leave the comfort of that and try to explore spirituality. Because it seems so dangerous. What if, my friends feel sorry for me, by the way. So, my Gujarati friend tell me, તને શું થઈ ગયું? પેલા દારૂ પીતો તો, નોનવેજ ખાતો તો, હા, રાતના પાર્ટી કરતો તો, હવે 10 વાગે સૂઈ જાય. હા, because they really genuinely feel bad for me. And they say, like, he just said, sorry for waking you up so early on a Sunday. 8 o'clock? I wake up at 4 o'clock every day. If I go to Bali for a holiday, if I'm in Thailand and Phuket, if I'm in Maldives in a resort, 4 o'clock I get up. Because that is actually the way your body is designed to be. Your body is not designed at the age of 65 to need a wheelchair. The maximum number of wheelchairs in the world, anywhere you go, are used by Indians. Yeah. So, just to give you another example of Indians and the rest of the world, if I'm doing a Kundalini class and there are 3,000 people, now just imagine I'm teaching here and there are 3,000 people in front of me. Now, there's a very difficult Kriya, which I use for advanced practitioners, where you have to keep your hands up like this, right? Now, it looks very easy right now, but let's say if you're doing it for 1 minute, you do it for 2 minutes. You can try it for 30 seconds if you want. Just try it. Now, if you're doing it for some time, let's say 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. After 3 minutes, basically you start doing like this. So, this, like I said, for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it's fine. But once you cross 5 minutes and 8 minutes and 9 minutes, you remember your great-grandmother's name. If you've never heard of it also, you'll know it. Like anybody asks me, what's your mother's name? Anand. What's your grandmother's name? I don't know. But if you do this for like 12 minutes or 15 minutes, you remember your grandmother's and great-grandmother's name. Okay. So, the thing is, in a group of 3,000 people, you can put your hands on, please. Thank you. In a group of 3,000 people, the first 3 hands to come down are the 3 Indians. Anywhere in the world. Whether I'm teaching in China, in Europe, in Russia, the 3 hands that will come down first will be the Indians. And if you want to know, the last 3 hands to come down are the Chinese and the German. They never put their hand down. After 2 hours also, they'll be sitting like that. So the thing is, now what you want to understand, what is Kundalini Yoga? What is Kundalini Yoga? Kundalini Yoga is somewhere where you, first of all, go deep into the crevices of your soul, get hold of your pain, your grief, your sorrow, your anger. You get hold of it and then you take it out and free yourself. You liberate yourself. That's Kundalini Yoga. And the most important thing is you get control over your mind. Okay, now you are trying to control your life. You want things to go your way. You want this to happen. You want to make money. You want your children to be nice to you. You want your mother and your daughter-in-law to be nice to you. You want. But you are trying to make it happen. How can you make it happen? You can't even order your body to do what it should do. Because when the mind becomes strong and the mind gets that spirit, I call it the lion spirit. Okay, you can live like a billy or a rat your whole life, or you can have the aura of a lion. If you have that strength of a lion, you can make things happen the way you want them to happen. Now, for that, you have to work hard. It's a no. 8 baje se pehle nahi uth sakta. I can't wake up before 8 o'clock. That is not going to happen. There is a system. Now, the human body is designed, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? The human body is designed to be healthy up to the age of at least 100. In the Himalayas, there are people living today also that are more than 200 years old. And what do they live on? Prana. There's one teacher who lives only on 1 lavang every day. He just has 1 lavang every day, nothing else. And you see him, his skin is shining. He's got this perfect, he's got the flowing white beard, shining skin, and perfectly healthy. So, if I have to talk to you about health, and I'm going to start giving you some knowledge that I have learned. from my experiences. When I give a lectures on Ayurveda, I'm invited to talk on Ayurveda all across the world. And the first thing I tell people is I'm not a doctor. I have been a patient. I have been such a sick person. So when I started making money coming from that childhood, obviously the first reaction is to go mad, right? Because I'm human. So whole life up to the age of 18, you're waiting for your cousin brother to give you his pehrawa kapda, yaar. Dekho phati gyo. Yeah. So then you wear and it feels very good because it's nice brand, nice this thing, nice shoes. Now when you make money, you go to the Gucci shop and he says, "Sir, this is limited edition. One shirt, only one piece in Australia. Nobody else has a packet." So that becomes your mindset. You want to consume, 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 consume because you never had. It's not your fault. When you see it, I had 90 pairs of shoes because I had not the bata that I used to wear when it used to get like torn, when it was get so comfortable as to cry, I can't walk, mom. Like she said, no, we can't afford it. And now when I can afford shoes, I have 90 pairs of shoes, the best shoes in the world. So that's how the mind becomes. The conditioning becomes to consume, to experience, to do this, to do that. And that's when you need a sadesati to slap you and bring you back to your place. Hai na? So basically, that sadesati started with me getting arthritis. Okay. At the age of 36, one of Mumbai's and India's top orthopedic surgeon tells me, you have arthritis. I said, what does it mean? I mean, give me medicine. He said, yeah, this medicine is fine. It will control the arthritis. I said, okay. But he said, now you cannot play badminton for the rest of your life. You cannot run for the rest of your life. And you cannot even do yoga now. Very gentle yoga you do. Don't do Ashtanga. I said, I'm 36 years old. Abhi arthritis is autoimmune. Gone. Around the same time, another disease associated with Vata is eczema. So I had eczema on my legs and my legs were black. So I went to the best skin specialist in Mumbai, the top one, the most expensive one. He said, not curable. I said, what kind of doctors these are? You are the best doctor and you're saying not curable, then what are you doing? What's your job? No, we can control it. I'll give you the steroid. It will make it more bearable. I refused to accept it. Right? I had high cholesterol, arthritis, eczema, stress and anxiety. I was big. I was double the size. I had put on a lot of weight. And that's when I realized that I was living my life the wrong way. And luckily, one more thing happened. You see, the Sadhasati is a great teacher. We all get scared of Sadhasati. I love Sadhasati. Sadhasati changed my life. So Sadhasati came, padak, gave me a lot. All the money I had made went away. In 2008 happened, banks collapsed. All the art that I had collected over so many years as an art consultant became worth nothing, like 20%. So I had to leave my 3,000 square feet house in Altamont Road, go back to my 2-bedroom hall kitchen in Bandra and start living that life again, start traveling economy again. But then I started thinking, I said, money can go away like this? Like no fault of mine. What did I do? That what happened in America and the bank called Bear Stearns is not my fault. So it's so easy for money to go. Like you do like this and it's gone. What it is that I can earn, own, have, that nobody can take away from me. What is that thing? And the answer was so clear. Bliss, peace of mind, equilibrium, equanimity, love, relationships. These are the things that I own. Nobody can take that away from me. Who can take my joy, my bliss, my inner peace? Who can take that? So then I started looking for that. I started searching for that. I started traveling for that. I would go to Thailand, I would go to Bali, I would sit in these retreats for 14 days, 7 days, and I would do meditation. I did Vipassana. Didn't find it. Until one day in Rishikesh, I went to this festival to do Iyengar yoga because I was an Iyengar yoga student. And Manuso Manos, the world number one, was in Rishikesh teaching Iyengar. But it was a festival. At the same time, there were many other teachers. Now, there was one teacher called Gurmukh who was teaching Kundalini Yoga. So, I said, and the time was the same. 9 in the morning, Manuso was teaching. 9 in the morning, Gurmukh was teaching. So, I can't do Gurmukh class because I'm a student of Iyengar. So, you couldn't help but notice that there was a gang of 300 people, all wearing white clothes, all having shining skin, beautiful eyes, and so healthy, like so fit, like nobody was fat. And even if they were old, even if they were 65 and 70, they were still, again, slim, shining skin, white flowing beards. So one day I couldn't control myself. I'm a very frank person, right? And I'm a very outgoing person. I called one girl, I said, "Excuse me, I want to talk to you." She said, "What?" I said, "Do they audition you before they take you in Kundalini Yoga?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do they call for your picture? Pehle photo bhejo." So why? I said, "How can everybody be good looking? Like they look at your photo, you're ugly, get out. Oh, you're good looking, come, come, come." I said, "Do they do that?" She said, "No, no. It's a good practice, you tried." I said, "No, no, I don't have time. I'm doing Iyengar yoga." But, curiosity is a human trait, right? So on the last day, I said, "This I have to try now once." All these 300 people, all good looking, how it is possible? So the teacher said, "Put your left hand on your heart, put your right hand out, and you chant this mantra." I said, "Okay, okay. I'm not depressed, I was not sad, I was not in any, I was like this, like how I'm talking to you. Now, if you put your left hand on the heart, put your right hand on, started chanting. After 3 minutes, I started crying. I cried for 2 hours. But when I got up from there, I felt like I had lost 4 kilos. I felt fresh, I felt rejuvenated. And that is the first day in my life that I realized the power of crying and healing and what it means to heal your soul. You want to detox your body, you do fast, you do upwas, you do a juice fast, you do falahar, whatever, and then you'll go to do panchakarma detox in Kerala, you'll go to Vana, you'll go to Pema, you'll do all that. What do you do to detoxify your soul? Nothing. Nobody does. Oh, you think you go to the temple and sit for 20 minutes is detoxification of soul? No, it's hard work. It's called tapas. When this is tapas, when you sit like this for 26 minutes, it's tapas. And this is one of the things that I'm telling you. It's hard work. And the rishis are not stupid to do it. It's not that they have no other work in life, so chalo, pahad mein jaake tapasya karte. It's not that they are stupid. They know that actually, when you're born in 7 different standards of the school called life. Okay, 7. You're born in the first standard, in your first life. You have to work hard to get to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, to the sixth, to the seventh. When you elevate in every lifetime, sometimes it takes people 1,000 lives to reach the 7th floor. Right? When you have reached the 7th floor, you then get the window of opportunity to get moksha. There are some people who decide not to go through the window. They say, "No, I'm not going to take moksha in this birth. I will take my moksha not in this birth, maybe in the next one." You know why? Because all the knowledge they have accumulated in the first standard, second standard, up to the 7th standard, whatever knowledge they have accumulated, they want to pass on that knowledge to humanity and mankind. So, these people are called bodhisattvas. It's an opportunity to meet a bodhisattva and just sit in that presence and to learn and to gauge what they have learned over 7 lifetimes. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I don't judge anyone. If somebody stabbed me in the back, if somebody is being stupid, somebody from Bangalore just cheated me out of 65 lakhs. No, I know police commissioners, I know this. I said it will happen. She'll give it back to me. One day something will happen, I'll tell somebody and he'll help me and I'll get my money back. But I don't get angry with that person because they're in the first standard. You don't judge anyone, right? If you are in the first standard, second standard, it's not your fault. It'll take some time for you to understand that cheating is not an option. When you cheat someone, when you hurt someone, so the biggest sin in the world, those who believe in pap and punya, the biggest pap in the world, the number one, is to hurt somebody. There's no bigger pap than that. किसी की बद्दुआ लगी, किसी की हाय लगी, no, even God cannot save you. Let's say God comes. Let's say you're friends with any of the gods, and you're friends with them. You call up God. God, help me. This lady just cursed me. Said God said, "Sorry, I can't help you." Nobody can help you, right? So the whole concept of curses and blessings. When somebody has cursed you, you're doomed. You're finished. That's the worst kind of karma, and the first biggest sin that you can do. And you know what? The second one, abusing your body. not looking after your body, having Maggi noodles, having burgers and pizzas and Coca-Cola and alcohol and smoking. It's a sin because God gave you a soul inside a body and you are meant to look after the body. Now, if you didn't look after the body and you have dark circles, you have this, you have that, you have to work really hard to be unhealthy. Your body doesn't ask you for anything. It doesn't even ask you for 3 times to eat. You know that. That जो 3 बार खाया वो रोगी, जो 2 बार खाया वो योगी, और जो एक sorry, I'm going to start again. जो 3 बार खाया वो रोगी, जो 2 बार खाया वो भोगी, और जो 1 बार खाया वो योगी. Right? So your body is not even demanding food. It's not asking for anything. It's just saying that in the Amrit Vela, in the time that which is we call the Amrit Vela in Punjabi, which is just telling me, just wake me up early before the sunrise. Just look at the sun, pour water, because when you do that, when you pour water towards the sun, the light that reflects from that, the Vibgyor, it heals you. Okay, it goes into your soul, and not only does it heal your body, your eyes, it heals your soul. That's all it's asking from me. Itna karo. Then it's saying, have your bath. There's a certain dinacharya according to Ayurveda. And that's all you're supposed to do to live a beautiful life up to the age of 100. To get sick, you have to have alcohol. You have to smoke. You have to watch Netflix, some web series till 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock. अरे बहुत अच्छा शो था व्हाइट लोटस, मजा आ गया. हाँ, व्हाइट लोटस के लिए तुम ब्लैक लोटस बन गया, है कि नहीं? But that is what people do, right? The whole concept. There's one course that I do, one workshop called the blossoming of the lotus. Now, what we do in the course is make you understand that we are living in an age where everything is polluted, corrupted. The people are bad. Everybody is standing next to you with a knife in their hand to stab you. Okay, now it's like daldal. It's like you're living in a swamp which is dirty, full of mosquitoes, stinking. In that swamp, you have to be the lotus, and you shine like a lotus. You look beautiful like a lotus. So there is no such concept of dying and going to heaven, or after dying going to hell. It's right here. It's right now. As a teacher now for the last 14 years, I see people with bad karma who are living in such miserable hell. I cannot even describe it to you. I cannot even tell you. And this is where they have to complete paying for their karma. The worst thing about this is that in case they have done so much bad that by the age of suffering up to the age of 80 also, dying in the hospital for 25 years with arthritis, with this, with that, all that suffering, if you are not able to repair your karma and to pay for it, you have to born in your next life to start again. Next life, you're going to pay for this karma. If you decide to shift today, if you decide to change your consciousness, awareness, start working in a positive direction towards spirituality, towards healing yourself. You know why you need to heal yourself? Because if you don't, all the pain that you have right now, you're going to be born again with that same pain in your next birth. I swear to you. So rebirth is a reality. As Indians, we know it for sure. We know it. So rebirth is a reality, and if you don't repair your karma and clear your aura now, in your next life, you will be born with the same shit and you have to start all over again. So this is your chance. This is your opportunity. This is why I teach. I'm an art dealer. I'm an actor. Why do I teach? Because I have experienced something which is so magical, so beautiful, that if I don't share it with people, it will be a crime. I have to. That's why anywhere I'm invited, I go. One very famous Ayurveda doctor said, why do you go anywhere and teach for free? They'll pay you 3 lakhs and 4 lakhs and 5 lakhs, just like that. I said, see, if it's a corporate and they want to pay me, they can pay me. But if they don't want to pay me, and I'm very happy to go. She said, no, but they will pay. I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. I have to share this. It's not an option. I was meant to share this. And it doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter whether I'm rich or not. Beyond a certain point, in your own understanding and evolution, you realize That genuinely, you don't really need beyond a certain amount of comfort and money. Beyond it is all bullshit. Instead of getting up to put off the light, you say, Siri, put on the light. Abhi itna bhi now what? How does it matter? Now you go towards the car, you have to, the cheap car you have to open. An expensive car, you just go near the car and the car opens on its own. Or you have a driver coming up, you have a bodyguard. Open your car, how does it matter? How much money you want to have that you have 3 people opening the car? Itna bhi kya? You're sitting over here, Jagta, pani lao. Get up and get your water, yeah? So the concept is that beyond a certain point, money loses value. And at any stage in life, when you realize that it's only about the equilibrium and equanimity. Equilibrium is very important. So we were watching TV in my house 20 years ago. And I'm watching TV with my wife. We're watching a movie. I get a call. So I said, I'm sorry, I have to take this call. Put the movie on pause. I take the phone. I talk for 2 minutes. I put the phone on. We start the movie again. Then I remember something. I tell my wife, I said, wait 1 minute. I make another call. I call now. And then I put the phone down and I start the movie again. Now my wife says, 1 minute. she takes that. She says, give me the remote. I give her the remote. She put the movie on pause. She said, what happened just now? I said, what do you mean just happened? What happened? She said, and I'm talking about 20 years ago. She said, did you just make 80 lakhs on the phone in 2 minutes? I said, yeah, so? So why aren't you happy? I said, what do you want me to be happy about? How does it matter? It's only money. No, I mean, it matters because my wife and I have both been extremely poor. She's from Dombiri, 1-room kitchen, right? Like me, from Mahim, 1-room kitchen. So 80 lakhs is a lot of money. But for me, it doesn't change anything in my life. So now then after that, 2008 happened and I lost 80% of all the money I had. So my friends are saying, why aren't you depressed? Because when I was making money, I was not dancing. So when I lost money, I'm not crying. If you allow yourself to get happy, you have to be able to allow yourself to become sad. Okay, when there is light, there is also darkness. Okay, when there is a high, there is also a low. So if you, instead of seeking to become happy and experiencing pleasure all the time, if you learn and train your mind to experience a state of equilibrium, equanimity. When the attacks happened in Taj, okay, the terrorist attack, me and my wife were there. Till today, after, I don't know, 15, 20 years, if you ask anybody in Taj, I was the most calm person over there. I got 40 people out from there at about 4:35 in the morning. I didn't panic at all, even in that situation. Because that's how you're structured to be. If you understand your breath. I have to come to the breath now. Because I have only 1 hour. Normally this kind of a talk, when I talk, supposing the last time I taught in Mexico on a topic which was so broad, it was a 6-hour talk. We had a 1 hour lunch break, so 3 hours before lunch, 3 hours after lunch. So prana. Now you say yoga, okay, everything is fine. But the bap of everything, beyond food, beyond yoga, beyond is prana. You understand the whole. So I'm doing a workshop online on next Sunday, which is on prana, pranayam with kriya and pranayam and meditation combination for 3 hours. For 1 hour. So basically, in the whole concept of prana, whatever health problems you have, whether it is diabetes, whether it's thyroid, whether it's PCOD, whatever it might be, if you just understand the correct way, now things, meko to aata hai, I know pranayam. When you go walk on Carter Road, you walk on Bandstand, Altamont, you see these people sitting in the garden. Arey bhai, I want to go to them. My wife always tells me, shut up, don't tell anyone, because I can't control myself, So, but my wife always says, no, she holds my hand. She says, no, please don't tell them, let them do it. How to let them do it? You basically, when you're trying to do a Bhastrika or let's say a Kapalbhati, you're freaking your nervous system out. You're going to fall sick. And if you do a lot of it, you're going to go mad. There is a way to do it. There is a science to do it. But with the right pranayam, if you do it the right way, you nourish your mind, your soul, your lungs. The oxygen goes into every cell of your body and it heals you. If I'm telling you that there are people who are 200 years old and living only on one lung, you can understand what are they living on? They're living on prana. So if you understand the correct techniques of doing Anulom Vilom, you know what? How people do Anulom Vilom? No, it is a mudra for it. It's called the Vishnu mudra. This is the mudra. The head, the crown of the head has to be higher than the forehead. The spine has to be straight. The throat has to be in the mild Jalandhar Bandha. And this is how you do it. And there is a way to do it, how to calculate the breath. 4, 8, all of that you have to do. Now it takes a little time. You are okay to spend 4 years to become an engineer. You can't spend 1 day to learn pranayama. You're okay to watch the White Lotus for 3 hours a day on Netflix. You can't spend 10 minutes to do meditation. Whose fault it is that you're unhappy and sick? Whose fault is it? At some point, we have to look in the mirror and take responsibility for our own actions. Right? And what are our actions? Mindlessness. Heaven can be found on this planet only if you are mindful of your action. You go to a wedding. You go, oh, nice buffet. They take the plate and they're standing and they eat for half an hour. They're talking also, standing also. No wedding in the world have I ever gone to. I will take the plate, I will find a chair. If there is no chair, I'll go out in the garden and I'll sit on the ground and I'll eat. Because when you stand and drink water, the water becomes poison. The amrit becomes vish. It becomes bad for you. Okay, even water. When you are standing and eating food, again, the amrit becomes vish. It's bad for you. You have to sit down and you have to eat your food. That's mindfulness. The problem is, nobody ever told us, which is why I talk so much on Instagram. It's not like I want to be more famous or I like the sound of my own voice. I give these lectures on Instagram because nobody told us these things. Nobody said, "Kid, don't stand up and drink water." It's such a simple thing. Nobody said, "Don't drink water with your food." Forget water. People are having vodka and beer with their food. You want to see a horror film? Where do you go? Theater. I want to see a horror film. You know where I have to go? Restaurant. Horror film. Horror. Every table has got a horror movie on. Every individual horror is going on everywhere. रात को दही खा रहे हैं 9 बजे. My teacher will slap me if I have dahi after 8 o'clock. You know. So first of all, the time also that you're eating. I eat my dinner at 5:30 or 6. That's the correct time to eat. It's not that I'm a Jain. I'm a Punjabi. But that's the correct, because when the sun is up, the Agni is the fire that to digest the food is stronger. It will digest whatever you eat. And when you have finished eating at 6:30, 10 o'clock you're ready to sleep. You eat at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, sleep at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. Then wake up at 8 o'clock. Okay, you have to be slightly hungry when you go to sleep. If you're feeling full, don't go to sleep. You can't eat that late, it's not an option. So, at the end of the day, all I want to say is, your whole life depends upon your karmas. If your karmas are bad, you've hurt people, you've cheated people, you collected a lot of curses from people, बहुत सारी बद्दुआएं ली हैं, nobody can save you. So second thing that you have to take away from this is that you are designed to be healthy. Even now, even at this age, even at the age of supposing 70 or 60 or 50, you can reverse any problem that you have. Any problem. Whatever issues you may have, you can reverse everything and come out glowing. It's up to you. It's never too late. The body is very forgiving. Where is my arthritis gone? That stupid doctor who told me I cannot do yoga for the rest of my life, he should see me when I play tennis for 1.5 hours and then I go to the gym for 1 hour. After that, in the evening I might swim also. Kya ho gaya? The body forgives. Even if you have cancer, the body will forgive you for whatever you did to get the cancer. It will. If you switch that correct lights on in your head, your body will forgive you. You will get rid of the cancer also. So never accept anything that comes in terms of the form of disease and ill health. Never accept it. Abhi to main gaya. Now to I have thyroid. I have to have this medicine for the rest of my life. No, you don't. The most beautiful thing we have in India, apart from ghee, which is Amrit, is the science of Ayurveda. So after the age of 40, your best friend should be oil and ghee. You wake up in the morning, take sesame oil, and you put it on your body. It's called self-abhyanga. You put it all over your body. you go in the sun. I'm going to request anybody who sits in the sun for half an hour every day to put their hands up.
I don't sit, but I don't know walking.
So nobody does that. People living in penthouses who have a terrace, they also don't do it. एक तो हो गया कि your flat is facing the west and you don't get the sun. एक तो वो हो गया. People who have a balcony, I live in Omkar, big balcony. Nobody sits in the sun. Nobody sits in the sun. Now the sun, okay, you know that there are many civilizations on this planet. We are like the seventh one or something. You know, one entire civilization went, and then after a million years, after when another civilization came, so we are the seventh. Okay, we are the only civilization that doesn't worship the sun. Otherwise, every civilization has had sun as a god. That's how healing the energy of the sun is. Abhi to kya? You go out as soon as before reaching outside, your sunglasses have to come. I know people who go into a restaurant, they're eating their food, sunglasses on. Arey chashma nikal yaar. But what happens? See the science of it. Your brain has got a receptor that sees the brightness outside, and then it adjusts the capillaries, the layer on your skin to adjust with the heat that is translating from that brightness, so that the effect on your skin and your body is adjusted and calibrated so that it's healthy for you, it heals for you. When you wear the sunglasses, it looks dark. Your skin doesn't know what's going on. Maro. So, all of these small, so many, the fabrics we wear. I just put on a post on Instagram where I said I went to Adidas. Now, each t-shirt costs 4,000, 5,000, no problem. Nothing of cotton. It's all made of all these new materials which are actually plastic. And when you sweat with that plastic, it goes into your skin. Right? So anyway, skin, to go back to summarize the whole thing, Abhyanga, first thing in the morning, when you're putting that oil, you go into the sun, then you have the shower. The oil does two things. The sesame oil will go into the pore. It's magical, okay? This is really beautiful. It takes out the dirt and the toxins which are inside and pushes it upwards. So that when you have a bath, all that poison comes out. And plus the joints you have to do like this. All the joints, whichever joint it is, you have to do like this, okay? So the joints get lubricated with the oil, okay? You won't get arthritis. That's how one of the ways I cured my arthritis. And the second benefit is that all the toxins come up and then you wash it away. And then you don't take a very expensive Burberry towel to softly dab your skin. No. South Indian ka, that 25 rupees ka towel you have to use. I've been using that for the last 30 years. Because when you use that South Indian towel and you rub it on your skin, it exfoliates your skin. It takes out the dead skin, which allows more prana to go. The skin is the biggest organ that eats. And when I started making money, I used to buy this one cream for this much. It used to cost 1 lakh rupees 25 years ago. This much. Gold it was. And you take that and you put it in like this. That's rubbish. Nonsense. Coconut oil. Cold pressed organic coconut oil. That's all you need. That's what I'm 55 years old. I don't have a single wrinkle on my face. That's the reason. That's why I don't have a wrinkle. Castor oil. No need to do Botox anymore. You want Botox, natural, free, not free, 200 rupees. Take castor oil, mix it with a little bit of coconut oil, put it on your skin in the night. My wife calls me Tel ki factory. I have castor oil on my face, I have some other oil on my head, Brahmi oil for the head, for the talwa. I have on the skin I have sesame oil or coconut oil depending on my mood. On my navel I have ghee. In my nose I have ghee. Now imagine I'm sleeping like that every night. But that's the way. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm going to take questions now, please.
Is a famous saying that इस जीवन में योगी बनना मुश्किल है, लेकिन उपयोगी बनना उतना मुश्किल नहीं है. We at Rotary believe in becoming उपयोगी for the society around us.
But that is beautiful. That is what I said, Vishuddhi Chakra, life in the service of humanity. It's better than being a yogi, I'll tell you. The yogi lives for himself. The upayogi, like what I said, the word I used was bodhisattva. It's a higher level of existence than anything else. When your life is not your life anymore, it doesn't belong to you, your wife, your daughter, your mother, your father. It doesn't belong to any of that. It belongs to people. So Upyogi is what I call a bodhisattva. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing that you all Rotarians do. Thank you.
आप लौंग के बारे में बता रहे थे.
Long is one of the spices in Ayurveda. So most of the cures, whether it's a headache or a fever or diarrhea or whatever it is, most of the cure is in your kitchen. So you have to understand how to use which spice, whether it is haldi, whether it's ginger, how to use in what quantity, and it's not complicated. Okay. If you learn to use each spice correctly, you'll never fall sick. Lavang is just one of them. Okay. There's nothing specially magical about the lavang itself. Yes.
आपने हम लोगों को
एक मिनट जस्ट सॉरी हाँ बोलिए.
मैं बोल रही हूँ कि आपने हम लोग को कुंडलिनी योगा इंट्रोड्यूस तो कर दिया, लेकिन उसके बारे में कुछ और जानकारी नहीं सही से जो कि हम प्रैक्टिस कर सके. तो क्या आपके उस तरह के सेशंस यूट्यूब पर है जो हम देख सकते हैं और जिससे हम बेनिफिट हो सके?
इंस्टाग्राम पर है.
अच्छा,
इंस्टाग्राम पर है. I will ask, my office will contact whoever needs it. I will give you the number to contact and you can contact that person, and basically you just have to put the laptop on. उसको और कुछ ऐसे नहीं है कि वो बट मेरा तो हिप दुखता है, मेरा नहीं, कुछ नहीं. You can just sit on a chair and do it. अगर आज हमारे पास म्यूजिक होता, I would have given you a demonstration, but we don't have the music का thing, so I can't do it. Maybe in some other Rotarian meet or something we can do it. But I'm happy to share it. And
Share the link with Ajay.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
एक्चुअली सेशन था लेकिन कुछ सिंक नहीं हो पाया, टेक्निकल इशू हुआ.
ओके,
मतलब पिन इनके पास वो नहीं था पिन, इसलिए वो ये सेशन नहीं हो पा रहा है. क्योंकि उसके लिए म्यूजिक.
But it's not, see, योगा में क्या होता है, आपको ये पाँव लेके ऐसे सर के पीछे डालना है. हाँ, ये हाथ को इधर से घुसा के. कुंडलिनी योगा में खाली आपको बोलेंगे ये करो, मुद्रा दिखाएंगे.
जबरदस्त योगा है वो, हम लोग हिल जाएंगे. मैं कर चुका हूँ बहुत ही ज्यादा, मैं 3 दिन तक लेटा रहा.
This is the Surbi Mudra. This is the Shankha Mudra. Then there's the mantra that you chant. It's very easy, but it's very healing, very powerful. Like how powerful Kundalini Yoga is to heal, I cannot even put it in words. I can give you some examples. I am the biggest example. So, before Kundalini Yoga, as an actor, my acting roles, Lakshman. Ravi Chopra comes to the office, B.R. Chopra सामने बैठे हैं, B.R. Chopra. रवि चोपड़ा अंदर ऐसे चल के आ रहे हैं, यहाँ पे 25 लोग बैठे हैं टेबल पे. तो चलते चलते बोलते हैं, अरे लक्ष्मण के लिए विजय आनंद का नाम लिखो. तो एवरीबडी इज इन शॉक. बोले राम को तो पहले, रामायण है भाई, राम को तो पहले कास्टिंग करो. नहीं, वो राम को डिस्कस करना पड़ेगा, लक्ष्मण कंफर्म है. तो बेचारा एक कास्टिंग डायरेक्टर था, तो उसको अपना काम करना था. तो बोला कि बट सर वी गॉट 25 ऑप्शंस फॉर लक्ष्मण, कैन वी डिस्कस दोज ऑप्शंस? ये शट. तुमको जिंदगी में विजय आनंद से ज्यादा गुस्से वाला आदमी कभी देखने को भी नहीं मिलेगा. उसको लक्ष्मण के लिए कास्टिंग करो, फाइनल है, डिस्कशन नहीं, खत्म करो, डन, आगे बढ़ो. सो दैट्स हाउ आई गॉट कास्टेड फॉर लक्ष्मण. हाँ, ऑल द रोल्स, लाइक माय मोस्ट फेमस रोल वाज इन कुरुक्षेत्र वेयर आई प्लेड नन, वेरी एंग्री मैन, वेरी एंग्री. और माय पर्सनल नेचर आल्सो वाज लाइक दैट. आई एम सिटिंग इन द कार, शादी में जा रहे हैं, बीवी बाजू में बैठी है, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, सिग्नल पे. सामने से एक गाड़ी, सिग्नल रेड है, सामने से गाड़ी फुल स्पीड में आई, उसने सिग्नल तोड़ा. एक बेचारा जो अपने सिग्नल पे जा रहा था, स्कूटर, बीवी, बच्चा, उसको जाके ठोक दिया. हाँ, तो मतलब कोई मरा नहीं, बट उनको लगा, थोड़े गिर गए. मेरी बीवी बोलती है कुर्ता पैजामा नया लिया है, हाँ शादी के लिए जा रहे हैं, परफ्यूम लगाया, मैं तो पकड़ रही है, मैंने कुछ नहीं. मैं खाली उसको, मेरे को लगा मैं उससे पूछूंगा कि भाई आपको सिग्नल तोड़ के अगर क्या मिला. मेरे को लगा मैं प्यार से पूछूंगा. तो आई वेंट, आई जस्ट नॉक्ड ऑन द विंडो. अंदर 5 लड़के बैठे थे, वो थोड़ा ड्रामा, म्यूजिक. तो म्यूजिक बंद करके, क्या हुआ? आई सेड, यू कुड हैव किल्ड समवन. तो उसने एक गाली दी, विच आई विल नॉट डिस्कस विद यू. कुछ नहीं, मैं एक स्टेप पीछे लिया, उसके जो दरवाजा था उसको किक किया, उसका दरवाजा पूरा अंदर चला गया. फिर उसके बॉनेट पे गया, जोर से मारा, बॉनेट उसका पूरा टेढ़ा कर दिया. अच्छा, वो मेरे को देख के 2 हवलदार खड़े थे, वो भाग के आने लगे. मेरा गुस्सा देख के वो भाग के चले गए. वो भी नहीं आए मेरे को रोकने के लिए. और अंदर 5 लड़के बैठे थे, मैं अकेला था, किसी की हिम्मत नहीं हुई बाहर आके मेरे को कुछ करने की. When I was angry, that's how I looked. You understand? Now that is before Kundalini Yoga. After Kundalini Yoga, I got called for the role of Janak. Janak was Sita's father. And the director Nikhil Sinha told his secretary, please tell Star Plus, we found Janak. And tell him this is not subject to approval, this is final, this is confirmed. And also tell them that we haven't found an actor to play Janak, I found Janak himself. और उसके बाद one more project I did was where I played Brahma in Adi Purush. And Om Rao, the director, was laughing. He's a friend of mine. He said, सगळे काय म्हणतात माहिती का? I said, what? सगळे म्हणतात की तुम्ही ब्रह्मातलाच कास्ट करून टाकले. ऐसा लगता है ब्रह्मा जी आ गए अंदर. So that is Kundalini Yoga. That's how powerful it is. That all that anger, that rage that I had inside was able to. And same way, for a lot of people, it takes out the pain, the grief. We live with so much grief. We live with it. You don't realize that you have an option of getting rid of it. So that's what Kundalini Yoga does to you in a very easy, very doable way. It's not complicated. हाँ जी.
सुरेश जी.
मुश्किल था कि 3 दिन तक
वो मैं आदमी देख के कराता हूँ ना. वो सबके लिए मैं इनको देखा तो पहले आज चलो अभी आ जाओ.
सुरेश जी.
Sorry?
Wheelchair पर so many Indians.
Because Indians, मैंने बोला ना कि वो जगता आप पानी लेकर आओ, वो खुद उठ के पानी भी नहीं लेते. और आप इंडियन को बोलो कि भाई ठंडे पानी में नहाना है, हाँ नहीं यार गर्म पानी में नहाना, ठंडे पानी में नहाना, गर्म पानी. अच्छा ड्रिंक मत पियो, नहीं यार एक ड्रिंक में क्या फर्क पड़ता है? एक ड्रिंक, अरे चूहे की जो मारने की दवाई होती है उसको बोलते हैं रैट पॉइजन. अब मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ रैट पॉइजन मत खा, पर एक गोली खा लेता तो खा मर, क्या बोले? See, alcohol is pure poison. Now I know alcohol. I loved alcohol. Up to 2 years ago, my students all over the world used to call me wine baba. Because I loved Barolo बहुत. मतलब आप 20,000 25,000 का वाइन पियो, उसका मजा ही कुछ और होता है. और मैं उनको बोला कि मैं जब गुफा में जाके सेटल हो जाऊंगा हिमालय में, तो मेरे को हर महीने 1 बोतल वाइन की लाके देना. तो दे यूज्ड टू कॉल मी वाइन बाबा. अभी वो भी बंद हो गया, बिकॉज एक गोली रैट पॉइजन ही है ना, तो क्या मतलब बनता. तो व्हाई, टू आंसर योर क्वेश्चन, व्हाई पीपल ऑन अ व्हीलचेयर, you don't understand कि you have to have a shower in cold water, you have to sleep on a certain kind of bed. आपको एकदम इधर बैठे तो गधेला इधर तक चले जाएगा, वो is not good. There is a certain way, there's a niyama, there's a dinacharya, there's a ritucharya. So all those forms of health which, अब गाड़ी में पेट्रोल जाना चाहिए, आप बोले नहीं मैं तो पानी डालूंगा, तो चलाओ गाड़ी, दिखाओ. तो जो रूल है, जो नियम है, और उसका आप पालन नहीं करोगे, if you don't follow that, who has to suffer? You have to suffer.
Doctor,
what is the advantage of taking bath with the cold water, which I take 365 days?
देखो ना, आप अपने आप को देखो, आप ही एडवांटेज हो. और क्या एडवांटेज हो? 365 days. Now you are only asking. Look at you.
डॉक्टर अरुण, एक one by one.
सर ये बताइए कि इस जन्म के और पिछले जन्म के जो बैड कर्मास हैं उसको कैसे हम नलिफाई कर सकते हैं?
कुंडलिनी योगा. मैंने सब ट्राई किया. जो आपको इसका, जो अभी आपको कर्मा, एक सिंपल जो उसका आवारण है, जिसका जो एक एक्सप्लेनेशन है, वो ये है कि वो कर्मा सिर्फ बर्न हो सकते हैं. यू कैन ओनली बर्न अवे द कर्मा. यू कैन नॉट विश इट अवे, यू कैन नॉट वॉश इट अवे, यू हैव टू बर्न देम. तो वही कभी सुना होगा आपने, यू हैव टू बर्न अवे योर कर्मा. उसका हिंदी वर्ड क्या मालूम है? तपस. तपस मतलब सिटिंग इन फायर. आप तप रहे हैं, और वो तप मतलब आपको गरम उसमें नहीं, गैस पे नहीं बैठना है. तप मतलब वही जो मैंने आपको एक उदाहरण दिया, वैसे और भी बहुत सारी क्रियाएं हैं अलग अलग. वो जब आप करते हो, अब तपस करते हो, और सबसे बड़ी बात, जब उसको बैलेंस करने के लिए अच्छे कर्म करते हो. जितने भी बुरे कर्म किए हो, जब एक बार आपने अच्छे कर्म करने शुरू किए, तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आपका बुक बैलेंसिंग हो जाता है. प्रॉफिट लॉस जो होता है ना, जो हम लोग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट करते हैं, वो बैलेंस हो जाता है. तो जितने ज्यादा अच्छे कर्म करोगे, उतना जो बुरे कर्म है उसका नेगेटिव इफेक्ट नीचे चले जाए, क्योंकि फिर दुआएं मिलती हैं. जो बदुआएं मिली है उसके लिए जगह पे अभी दुआएं मिलती है. और दुआ बहुत सस्ती है. बैठिए प्लीज, मैं बोलता हूँ. दुआएं बहुत सस्ती है। आज अभी कल रात को मेरे घर में पार्टी थी, तो जो वेटर आया था उसको 1400 देने थे। मैं बोला भैया आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया, प्लीज ये 2500 ले लो। तो वो क्या गाली देगा मेरे को? दुआ ही देगा ना। अब मैं मेरे दोस्त के घर पे गया, लैंड एंड मालाबार में 26 माले पे। हाँ, ड्राइवर नहीं था गाड़ी पार्क की, ऊपर गया, बालकनी में खड़ा था, नीचे देखा, मैंने शिट, मैंने गाड़ी ऐसे लगाई थी तो मेरे पीछे वाला अटक गया, वो ही कुडंट कम आउट। अब जब वो आएगा तो क्या मेरे को दुआ देगा? गाली देगा ना। और वो गाली लगती है, कहाँ से लगती है, कितनी लगती है, वो अलग बात है, लेकिन गाली तो लगती है। तो मैं 26 वाला नीचे आया। अब इंडिया में क्या है, चलो भाड़ में गया, उसकी प्रॉब्लम है। उसकी प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, आपकी प्रॉब्लम है। किसी की बद्दुआ मत लो। हाँ जी,
चैलेंज जी।
आपने बोला eat only once a day is yogi.
हाँ,
So what is the best time to eat that only once a day, which is very difficult? Number two, why Japanese live so long compared to other people of the world? Number three, veg or non-veg, what we should eat, not eat. About that.
so my memory is very bad. What is the first question? Best time to eat afternoon, when the Agni is right on top. Once a day, best time to eat is afternoon when the Agni is right on top. The food gets digested, it gets absorbed the best, and the nutrients of the body go all over the place. That's the first answer. Second question.
Why do Japanese live?
Okay, I was in Taiwan 3 weeks ago, and they're very similar to the Japanese in every which way. The first thing that struck me कि वहाँ पे कोई मोटा था ही नहीं. When I went to Taiwan, everybody is slim. All the youngsters are all shining skin, looking so healthy and beautiful. दूसरे दिन मैं नाइट मार्केट गया. हाँ, नाइट मार्केट में I'm walking, इधर खाना उधर खाना, इधर ये उधर वो, बहुत गर्दी है. एक क्यू देखी मैंने. वो क्यू यहाँ से शुरू होते, फिर मैं क्यू देखने लगा कहाँ तक जाती है और किस चीज़ के लिए है. हाँ, तो I started following the queue to see where it ends. What is everybody eating? मेरे को भी खाना है यार. You know, it's कुछ मैजिकली होगा, कुछ पकौड़ा होगा, कुछ होगा, you know, तो अच्छा ही होगा. इतनी लंबी क्यू है तो I went. You know what the queue was for? Fruits. And all the young people, 16 years old, 18 years old, 20 years old, they were queuing to eat fruits. Now, to answer your question, the Japanese don't drink water with their food. They don't have beer with their food. They don't have alcohol with their food. The Japanese have टी, हर्बल टी. वो भी छोटा, ऐसे नहीं कि जग में टी रखा है बाजू में गल 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 करके पी रहे हैं, वो भी अलाउड नहीं है. आपको जब थोड़ा गला सूखे ना तो वो हर्बल टी पीते हैं. तो द जापानीज डू दैट. द जापानीज ईट फिश, अ लॉट ऑफ फिश, एंड विद दैट फिश देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ वेजिटेबल्स. हाँ, एंड द जापानीज डोंट गो टू मैकडॉनल्ड्स, दे डोंट गो टू KFC. हाँ, दे डोंट ईट पिज्जा, दे ईट सुशी, दे ईट अ लॉट ऑफ राइस. The Japanese have a healthy lifestyle. Plus, they do things which are like they work out, they do Tai Chi, they do all those kind of things, which is why the Japanese people are very healthy. What is the last question?
Veg or non-veg?
Excuse me. So, to answer that question, let me tell you, in Ayurveda, there is nowhere it is written that you have to be vegetarian to be healthy. Number one. In fact, in Ayurveda, there are many medicines for which you have to eat lamb meat, or even tiger meat is written in the text of Ayurveda. Tiger meat लिखा है Ayurveda में. लेकिन it's also for sure that if you want to be on a spiritual path, you want to meditate, आप नॉनवेज खा के मेडिटेट नहीं कर सकते. It's not possible. नॉनवेज खा के आपकी जो प्राणिक जो एनर्जी है, जो सटल एनर्जी जिसको हम बोलते हैं, वो कभी एक्टिव हो ही नहीं सकती. तो you have to decide whether you want to, you know, and it's not possible to be healthy with vegetarian food. ऐसा नहीं है. Why you eating non-veg? If you are eating non-veg because people are telling you it's protein. अरे उड़द की दाल खा लो ना, हाँ, मसूर दाल खा लो, प्रोटीन उसमें भी है. हाँ, but the most important thing I want to share with everyone is don't give up non-veg until अंदर, जैसे how I told you I gave up alcohol. जब तक अंदर से आवाज नहीं आती ना कि अब नहीं खाना है, तब तक you don't give up non-veg. My wife was a non-vegetarian. My daughter was a non-veg. My daughter was a pure non-vegetarian. अभी वो अंडा छोड़ के किसी मीट को हाथ भी नहीं लगाती. My daughter also, my wife also. मैं फिर भी कभी कभार खा लेता हूँ क्योंकि मेरे को अभी तक वो अंदर से आए नहीं कि बंद कर देना है. लेकिन जब वो अंदर से घृणा आएगी, घृणा कि वो चाहिए ही नहीं, Like how I have for alcohol. कभी चाहिए ही नहीं. That's when you give up non-veg, and that's the only way to give up non-veg. There's no other way.
What about eggs, sir? Eggs?
I love it. And I told you, I play tennis for 1 hour. Then I work out in the gym for 1 hour or maybe sometimes 2 hours. 3 घंटे के बाद अगर अंडा नहीं खाऊंगा तो क्या करूँगा?
Then why don't you do that under dal?
No, but anda, I love the taste also.
He is also Ayurvedic practitioner.
Ah, he was? Wow. Okay.
She also.
What is the mantra? What you read? What was the mantra you read?
That would have been on my phone. इसको चालू करो. Okay, we'll do one last question and then we'll end with a mantra. हाँ, इसको चालू करके दो.
मंत्रा का last में जाएगा.
I just stated that yoga, all the other Iyengar yoga and all the other types of pranayams that we all do. You said Kundalini yoga is the best. That's what I could understand from your talk. Do you say that the other yogas are not good?
Depends on the purpose. I told you I had anger issues, I had stress, I had anxiety. I was the biggest student of Iyengar yoga. I loved it. I have the best teacher in the world who lives in Mumbai. My anger didn't go anywhere. Okay. Now with Kundalini yoga, my anger went. I found peace. I found joy. But I also do Iyengar yoga from time to time. In a week, I do a couple of times I do yoga also. I wake up at 4 o'clock now. 4 बजे उठ के करूँगा क्या? So I do yoga also. Before I go to the gym, I do yoga also. So to answer your question, it's not that it's not good, but you have to understand what is the purpose why you're doing it. Iyengar yoga is very good for alignment. Understanding when you do Iyengar yoga especially, it gives you the perfect way to stand, the perfect way to walk, the perfect way to, for any action, it gives you the perfect science. But healing is a separate science altogether. For that, we need Kundalini yoga.
Any other question?
Don't you think it is quite bad that if a person has cancer or say diabetes or any kind of serious diseases, and if they are told that it is a result of their karmas or their own faults, I think it puts them into depression, in fact.
Don't tell them.
No, but usually that is what goes on. That is what they read, Nobody is going and telling them personally, but that is what is put out. So I feel, this is very bad for them, for cancer patients when they read that, or even critically ill people.
So let's say nobody has cancer. Okay, then so I'm saying, listen, if you don't do good karma, and if you don't look after your health, what did I say? The second biggest sin, the सबसे बड़ा पाप क्या है? Is not to look after your body. If I don't say this, okay, if you do bad karma and you don't look after your body, if you don't do that, you will get cancer. Is it better that I say that, or should I just keep quiet?
No, abusing body is a different thing. Health-wise is a different thing that you should look after. But I feel because karma is not something which we actually know whether somebody is done.
No, we all know.
Karma or not,
When you are
we
cheating
don't know.
someone, you know it's bad karma. I'm sorry.
But if you've not cheated in this life, and we said so due to the past karmas, we don't know what we have done in our past lives.
Which is why a really spiritual person, this is very important for me to explain this to you. Somebody who's a saint, who has lived his whole life to help humanity. When he gets cancer, he doesn't feel depressed or he doesn't feel sad. He just smiles. He says, Hari Acha. Because you have to pay for whatever you have to go through that journey because you are meant to go through it. I have spent 1 lakh rupees for a dental implant. 1 lakh. उससे महंगा था ही नहीं. I went to the most expensive one. Okay, उससे better था ही नहीं. But I cannot tell you the pain I'm going through for the last 1 month. But I'm not complaining. I'm not crying. Because it's part of something which I have to experience. Okay, so when you understand spirituality, you understand the rules. Okay, everything that is happening for a reason. It's happening for your benefit eventually. इस तरीके से या उस तरीके से, it's for your own good. So if a spiritual person gets cancer, when he is in pain, he'll be smiling. He'll say, Hare Acha, Ram, Ram, Ram. It gives you that strength to understand the reality of life. Hanji, last question.
कुछ कुंडलिनी योगा करा सकते हो कुछ हल्का सा?
नहीं.
देखो, not
Without music, no.
Without music, not possible. हाँ, संदीप जी.
I met a chief editor of this line,
एक
very important newspaper. So
एक मिनट.
We were 10 of us. All the important media people were there. I was chief editor of the Hindu Business Line. So everybody was asked if you wish is granted by God, what will you ask God? So this guy said, I will ask two things: sense of proportion and balance of mind.
Balance.
Because these two things, everybody, these are the gifts of the God. If you can get that, that's number one. Number two, you said about various oils. Sesame oil, castor oil, coconut oil. I come from oil business, so I know
From?
vegetable oil business.
Oh, wow.
So I know exactly these are the.
So you're doing a greatest service to humanity then.
You did great marketing for us. And,
Hire me as a brand ambassador.
and for liquor companies, I think you did good passion.
I'm going to be short. मैंने अपनी डेथ खुद प्रेडिक्ट कर दी है. मेरे को या तो लिकर कंपनी वाले गोली से मारेंगे या फार्मास्यूटिकल जो दवाई बनाते हैं वो मारेंगे. उनको मेरे को नहीं मारेंगे तो वो मर जाएंगे. मैं तो मेरा जो डेली का काम है, एवरी डे आई एम टॉकिंग ऑन माई इंस्टाग्राम, ऑन यूट्यूब, ऑन माई लेक्चर्स, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट क्रोसिन. दवाई खाना बंद करो, एंटीबायोटिक खाना बंद करो. जो भी दवाइयाँ, थायराइड की दवाई, डायबिटीज की दवाई, जो भी दवाइयाँ सब खाना बंद करो. बिकॉज नेचर में हर चीज का क्योर है. फाइंड दैट क्योर इन नेचर, फाइंड इट, वर्क हार्ड. ऐसे नहीं कि डॉक्टर के पास उठ के गए, मेरे को ये चलो दवाई लेके ले ली, खा ली, चलो पड़क. नहीं, वर्क हार्ड, क्योर इट. गो टू केरला, डू अ पंचकर्मा डिटॉक्स. थोड़ी मेहनत लगेगी लेकिन वो एवरीथिंग इज क्योरेबल.
And regarding karma, what you said is, I believe 100%. And I can tell you, I have experienced it myself in my life a lot of times. Some people who have not done wrong to me, and I just left it. I said, चलो ठीक है, आपको नहीं समझ में आ रहा, कोई बात नहीं. I don't want to file a case against you. I don't want to do anything against you. And I've seen after 6 months or 2 years, they come back, they realize, and they pay up the whole amount.
Yeah.
That's what has actually happened with me. And I can tell you very proudly, very humbly at the same time, that I have no enemies in this world anywhere.
Wow.
Not a single person you can say that he's not unhappy with me or I will something wrong. Because that is the basic ingredient in me. That you have to do good karma.
Very good. Nice to meet you, sir. Chalo, let's start the meditation now. We'll just do a short 2-minute, 3-minute meditation to give you an idea what Kundalini Yoga is. Just we'll do this mudra called the Hakini Mudra. Just touch all these fingertips and keep it in front of your heart. This is the Anahata Chakra. Keep your spine straight. The crown of the head has to be higher than the forehead. The neck is in the mild Jalandhar Bandh, not like this, little bit mild. It's called a mild Jalandhar Bandh. Now, what you're doing is you're chanting very softly Om Namo, Gurudev Namo with the music, okay, along with the music. Beta volume na.
I bow to
I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. And I'm coming home. Okay, everyone together now.
And I must congratulate all the audience. You all have asked the questions which were so right that his giving us the speech was enlightened by your questions because he was able to give appropriate answers. I like the question by Shamji. He said, I have been taking bath 365 days with cold water. I said, that's the answer. You got the help. Wonderfully spoken, appropriate, and very meaningful. Thank you very much for your wonderful Sunday morning.
Thank you so much. I have to say one thing. My first movie that I did, where the songs became a craze for I think 1 year, यारो ना जाने मुझे क्या हो गया, and सुबह सुबह जब खिड़की खोले, That is a movie called Yash, and my producer is here. I just want please, Sushil ji.
Sushil Kumar. You are the producer.
He was the producer of that film, and that film, even today, I recently somebody put that song on Instagram. That song had 2 million views, and everybody commented,
Wow.
"Bring back my childhood, bring back my memories." The most beautiful memories he created with those songs. Ultra film, Sushil ji, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you. Satnam.